What are you doing?
Just getting some smoke in the can. We need some atmosphere in here.
Don't you remember what happened last time?
Atmosphere.
There's literally a smoke alarm above your head.
Oh, shit. Rolling. All right, action. So I'm going to break down this commercial today for you. We're going to go through the process that we went through in terms of building out sets to actually making the piece of content, some stop motion tips and tricks. And towards the end of this video, I'm going to show you some nice little lighting setups that I think you're really going to enjoy and appreciate. But before we get into the video, please guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm not just going to sit here and give you all this information in the world and you not subscribe. So please subscribe to the channel, give us a like, also leave us a comment. Let us know what you want to see in the future. Anyway, let's see the commercial.
How to meal plan like a pro. Customize. Customize your meals by adding, swapping, or upgrading ingredients. Ooh, salmon, nice choice. Planning. Get organized for the week ahead. HelloFresh is flexible with your busy schedule. Not that kind of flexible. Order. And because no 2 weeks are the same, with the Edit Delivery feature, you can change your delivery date, change your box size by adding more meals or servings, or simply skip a week. Ooh, getaway. Get planning like a pro.
So over 6 months ago, we got sent a brief from a big global brand. And within the brief, they wanted us to conceptualize and produce a commercial for them that could showcase the new features of their app. So this was quite a challenging brief. We had to come up with a piece of content that could showcase these features, but also be social friendly, engaging, and also have a look and feel that's premium and reflected the brand's image. In producing it, we came up against a lot of challenges and we had a lot of discussions internally within the team to work out what's the best way to shoot this thing. There's a lot of different mediums being mixed together. We have some animation, we have stop motion, and also some in-camera trickery. So the first problem that we came up against was the green door. Now we needed this green door to be in their true brand color. So that meant we had to go up to Bunnings, find the paint that matched the color best. We knew that we were going to be delivering a box at the door at different times of the day. So we decided to build our own set. Getting out of the office, getting on the tools.
All right, love it. It's so hot right now.
It's so
probably
hot.
like 27.
Oh, it's boiling.
HelloFresh, this is for you.
Getting ready for the main event. We matched with their brand color green.
So HelloFresh is green.
Looks good, eh? That's not bad. That's bang on, eh? Now we needed to keep this within our budget. We didn't have a huge amount of money to build out a proper house front facade. We knew that our frame for our camera would only need to fit a certain portion of the door. So it was basically the floor and from about halfway down from the door.
So Gus just knocked up the door frame.
Yeah, mate. Look at it. Looking spectacular.
Yeah, 2 minutes took him.
Yeah.
What a weapon.
The chiseling of the joints there. Great job there, Jai.
Yeah, chiseled that baby out there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
See, like I said, we're not just pretty faces. We can build together like sets, I guess. That's probably the way to say it.
A door.
We can put together a door, that's for sure. Door has a bow in it, which is really not good.
That is not a square door.
Probably because we leant up against the wall.
And we put it in the sun.
Yeah, it was in the sun.
Probably just in the sun too long.
So look, maybe don't hire us to do your actual door, but set build doors because you can't. Before I got into photography and production, I was a carpenter. So you would think that I would be really good at this, but I was a little bit dusty. So please don't judge me on my craftsmanship here.
And as good of a carpenter as Kurt is, he's no mathematician.
Yeah, look.
That's
I didn't math right. It's like I said, that's what I said before.
There's a big gap. Should not be there.
And then
Hello.
yeah. Because you have a new one, don't you?
Look at that.
Yeah, welcome to my crib. Always rely on Fox to be a great apprentice. Not so much Jai. Not so much Jai. So we have, I don't have to wear this anymore. We have massive issues today. Today is the first day of filming. Jai came in this morning and he started feeling achy. So because of COVID, we've sent him home. And then Georgia, who else was gonna help us out today, found out she had COVID. So we're 2 people down. And now we're just in sanitation mode. Georgia, I'm not happy with you, mate. I'm still unhappy with you, Georgia. Now it is film day, and let me tell you, This is where everything starts to go wrong. So when we were filming this, COVID rules and restrictions were no longer in place. So we were allowed to be in our office space and do this type of work. However, the brand that we were working for, they had some policies in place where their staff were still working from home. So we weren't allowed to have them on site. But this was a very complicated part of this production. When you're dealing with a brand that deals with food, they have a lot of quality control that they need to oversee and overlook. For us to get approvals from the client, we had to live stream in at certain points when we had created our set together. And the actual end result of the image was a little bit different to what it actually looked like in camera. So we would have to interchange in and out maybe different backdrop colors, needing to sear some of the meat a little bit differently, or just even styling it slightly differently so that it was true to the way that they want it to be cooked. And sometimes this process could be a bit clunky because they may be in a meeting or doing something else, and it's no one's fault. Like, we knew this coming into it. It just made the whole process a little bit more complicated. I'm a big fan of the client being there on set. I think it makes life a lot easier for everyone, you know. They can appreciate the hard work and the devotion that's going into the content, and they can also approve things along the way. And it makes for a much easier transition into the editing and post-production phase.
We just finished the taco scene.
HelloFresh is flexible with your busy schedule.
So we had the camera up on tether, tethering back to the computer.
You could be tethered to us if you subscribe to this channel.
And then we were doing some stop motion with tacos being slid into frame.
So like I mentioned earlier, there was a lot of mixed mediums within this production. Stop motion is probably one of the most tedious parts of this one. So we're going to showcase to you how we created some of these stop motion assets. So we would have our camera set up on a tripod and running a tether cable all the way down to our computer. Now we use a program called Capture One. Now the reason why we use Capture One over Lightroom is because it's kind of built more for this type of purpose. I feel like Capture One performs a little bit better than Lightroom in this instance, and also Capture One has the ability to create onion skins, which is basically showcasing to you the shot before as like an opacitated layer over the top of your next shot. This type of software really enables you to be able to create this really smooth stop motion animation. So you can make your frames more incremental and make it flow a little bit more naturally.
Hey, welcome to my crib.
To let this video flow nicely, we came up with a lot of clever transitions. The first one I can think of is the first initial transition. The camera pans into the box, which shows the first recipe, and then that recipe transitions into the actual meal that we created. Little clever transitions like this just really assist with that storytelling process and let that flow real smoothly throughout the whole video. One of the other transitions that I really enjoy is the final one where the camera is dollying out from our model doing her yoga pose through the doorway out to the door scene. So this transition was basically just a simple mask. We had our door open, someone was standing behind the door, they closed the door in a nice delicate way, and then in post-production we just created a mask around that doorway as it shut, and as we were dollying backwards it was revealing that next scene anyway. So we had a lot of these different clever transitions throughout this video to help with the flow and the storytelling.
3, 2, 1.
This was one of my favorite shots in this whole video, and there's gonna be a good point to this. A lot of times when you're creating videos for a big global brand like the brand we're working on here, is that there's a process that the content needs to go through in the post-production phase for approvals. So generally speaking, they're gonna be sending your piece of content that you made off to like their legal team, and then the legal team will pick at it, pull it apart, and make sure that there's nothing within there that could be taken out of context, could create an issue with certain ad standards wherever they'll be showcasing the piece of content. This process as a creative can be very frustrating because in your mind you have this amazing piece that's like a punchline or it's a cool piece of visual, and it may not work for that particular brand. In this instance, it was this shot. For whatever reason it was, their legal team wasn't 100% on this shot, so we had to cut this shot out of the video. And I tell you what, this like crushed my soul because I was so we bought all those different pieces, all those mouths, those clever mouths, then we weren't able to use the shot. It was just such a fun, creative shot that I really loved. In saying this, This is the type of challenge that we are coming up against all the time. So you as a director, as a cinematographer, or as the creative agency, whatever position you're in a production, you need to swallow your pride here and just know that this piece of content's been put into good hands and there is good reasoning behind that decision. So I swallowed my pride, we moved on, and yeah, that's the end of that one. This has taken me way too long. But there's about 6 lines of wire there. Far out, I don't even want to know how long this has taken me. Probably about 2 hours, maybe an hour. Maybe an hour, let's be honest.
Well, show them. What's the time? 3 o'clock.
What time did I start it at?
Like 12?
Are you kidding? 3 hours! 3 hours! It's gonna look epic, but I hope it works. In my mind, this shot was gonna be easy. This literally took so long to piece together. The original goal for this was to be an actual video asset, and we would chop the wires and then the burger would fall down together and fall out of frame. When we started piecing this thing together, it became a lot more complicated. For example, there was a lot of back and forth with the client on the food not looking aesthetic enough, so we were constantly trying to change things on those little tiny wires. And then by the end of it, I didn't want to take the risk on cutting the wires and the burger not falling properly, go through that whole entire process again to try and make this one shot work. So we decided to scrap it as a video asset and turn it into an animation asset. So we took a still photo of all the product as is, and in post we animated the movements into the shot. I ended up being really happy with this end result. It actually looked just as good, if not better, than what I first anticipated. So I'm really glad that we were quick to make that decision in that moment. Welcome to my HelloFresh door. Oh, my boxes arrived. Should be closed. Anyway, this is the final scene, and this has just been pretty much everything has been difficult to do. Just while I was in the middle of explaining to you what was going on, the camera died. Just our luck. Anyway, I'm gonna move on from ranting. All right, so we've built this amazing set that was looking incredible in camera. Now we needed to recreate different lighting scenarios to really sell in that this box was being placed down at different times of the day. So we had 4 lighting scenarios that we needed to recreate. So we had an early morning golden hour, we had a nighttime, a time of the day that looked like it was raining, so we had to make fake rain, and then our final one was our normal daylight look. So for the early morning golden hour look, we put a warm gel on the front of our light source, creating around a 4,000 Kelvin range. This was to give us that warm golden hour feel to the light. And to simulate that time of the morning, we set the light quite low and made it as if it was set on the horizon line. This time of the day, it's going to be shooting through a lot of texture like trees and things like that. So to make this look realistic and to have a light source that low at that time of day, generally speaking, it's going to be shooting through a lot of texture like trees. So we decided to put this palm leaf in front of the lens, which you can see here. And that was just creating a bit of texture in our scene and just really selling it in a bit more and making it look a little bit more different to the other settings. For the nighttime shoot, there are a few things you can do here. You can generally just underexpose the image, or you can bring in a blue light. Now, a blue light is very similar to what you would see from the moon. So we put a blue gel in front of our light, set it at a particular angle so that it's similar to where the moon would be shining. This kind of enables you to be able to up the exposure of the image a bit because there's already that feeling that it is nighttime, so you can still expose your image correctly, but creating this blue cast, it makes it feel as if it's nighttime. Yeah, that's how we're creating a night scene. For the rain scene, we used the same light with a big, soft octo box on the front of it. So we're creating this beautiful soft light source shining in, sort of similar to what you would see on a cloudy day. And to create the rain, we just got the hose out and sprinkled some water in the air. And we kind of had to play around with the hose a little bit to get it to look like it was actually rain. For the midday light setting, we had the light up as high as it could possibly go on the stands, shining down at a really hard angle, similar to the way that midday would look. The light was set to 5600 Kelvin, so balanced to that time of day as well. It was just a really hard light source, creating this nice hard shadow on the box and just simulating midday sun. In our last commercial breakdown, we were asked by you to showcase the final commercial at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video. So that is what we are doing this time, which means that we read the comments, okay? So leave a comment below. If you felt like this video was valuable, let me know, because that will inspire me to create more for you. And if there's anything else that you want to see, leave a comment below, because I am responding to all of them at the moment. I mean forever. So leave me a comment, guys. I just want to talk to you guys. I'm lonely. I'm sorry. Play the video, please. I'm going on a tangent. See you in the next video.
How to meal plan like a pro. Customize. Customize your meals by adding, swapping, or upgrading ingredients. Ooh, salmon. Nice choice. Planning. Get organized for the week ahead. HelloFresh is flexible with your busy schedule. Not that kind of flexible. Order. And because no 2 weeks are the same, with the Edit Delivery feature, you can change your delivery date, change your box size by adding more meals or servings, or simply skip a week. Ooh, getaway. Get planning like a pro.